Well, what's up guys? What's up YouTube? This is a 2022 Kia Stinger. This is the GT1 model, and I'm back here at Gettle Kia of Bradenton, Florida. They allowed me to film another one of their vehicle, and I'm super excited because I haven't done a Stinger yet. And what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna take you on the tour of this vehicle. We're gonna first of all check out some differences between the 2021 and 2022 model. Then I'm gonna take you on the tour of the exterior, interior, get inside of this vehicle, play with some cool and interesting feature, as well as check out some changes on the exterior, take a peek underneath the hood and see what powers up this thing. At the very end, I'm going to take you for a spin. Now, if this is your first time watching my videos, my name is Matt Samolski, and on this channel I do car reviews. So if you're ready, let's go. Well guys, before we get into the car, I want to show you one thing, and this is this microphone cover right here. Some of you complain about the wind noise that in some of my other videos. Now I read about it, I listened to it, somebody advised me to put some dead animal on it, so they call it the dead cat. Now don't freak out, there's no animals harm during making this video, and I hope the noise is going to be gone, but you can still hear me. So this is a test, we'll see if it's going to work. But we're going to jump right into the front of this vehicle and take a look at this. Now, if you've seen the Kia Stinger, this is not a brand new model. This is basically a refresh. Now, they came out with the Stinger 4 years ago. 2018 was the first model year. I think came out late 2017, and this is basically what started the revolution with the Kia. At least that's what I think. Now, they came up with the sports vehicle to compete with the German cars, to compete with like BMWs and Audis and Mercedeses. And a lot of people were like, hey, this is never gonna work. The Kia, it should be a family sedan. It should not be fun. It's under $30,000. But they came up with it, and they were over $40,000. Some of them 50. And people go like, this is never gonna fly. Now, did it work? Take a look around and see how many of those you can see on the road. At least here in Florida, I can see a few of them every day when I'm driving around, and that's without really paying attention to it. Now, they're very distinctive looking, and so is this one. They haven't changed the overall design of this vehicle very much. They changed several features of it, one of them being the lights. The headlights are different. Now, they have these two LED lights on top, two LED daytime running lights at the bottom, and that basically encases the main LED light. At the bottom of this entire headlight unit, there is a turn signal that consists of multiple LED lights. So hopefully you can see that now. I have it blinking, and over here at the bottom you have this air curtain that goes straight through, and it actually comes out on the other side of the bumper to cool off that wheels, those brakes that get really hot during braking. Now, if you look at the grille, they still have this tiger nose grille, but it's a little bit different than on the previous generation one. And this one is kind of wrapped in this black chrome, which is absolutely awesome looking. And also, the very first thing that I should have told you about it, that it does have this brand new Kia logo on it. Now, Kia is rebranding, remaking their logo from the round one and the Kia inside of it to basically just spelling out the Kia. We've seen that logo on the Kia Carnival. It looks great. Now, this is the second Kia that gets this logo. For 2022, all of them will get it. Continuing back in the front of this vehicle, it has also this bottom grille right here. It's a lot of like shiny black, as well as this black chrome piece at the bottom. Now, this color, they call it the Ascot green, and while it might not be the most sporty looking color, it fits very well in this vehicle, and I think it adds to the uniqueness of this vehicle, because you look at this car and you look at it as a sedan, but this is a really performance sedan. We're going to take a look at the engine next to see what powers up this thing. And one more thing before we open up the hood, take a look at those two trim pieces right on top of the hood. They look like the air extractors, like the heat extractors from the inside of the hood compartment, but engine compartment, but they're not. They're actually a trim pieces, so they're non-functional. I wish they were, to help with that heat from the engine compartment coming out, but I guess it might not be an issue. So let's pop the hood up and let's see what hides underneath it. Well guys, let's take a look at the engine on this 2022 Stinger. So first of all, in the engine compartment, you can see a nice size hood. Now you have a hydraulic hood strut. Now you have the strut tower supports, you know, right here. So you have those braces to make it more rigid and more stiff and better handling. And then you can see a turbo written right on top of that engine cover. Now, this one is actually a twin turbo charged V6 engine, and it's 3.3 liter. That's the displacement of it. 368 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque. Now it's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it's capable of sending this vehicle 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. Now, another engine that's brand new for this year is 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that now produces 300 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, and it's able to get 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. I personally would like to test drive that, but I'm glad I got the 3.3, because this, what I always thought about Kia Stinger, 6-cylinder performance. Now it's twin turbo. It should drive awesome. We'll check it out in a little bit. All right, let's check out the side view of this vehicle. I like it. It's very nice. It's very sporty. It's also very characteristic to the Stinger. So if you've seen one, you know that you're looking at one. There are a couple things that are different for this year. They have the 19-inch wheels, and this is a different design than the last year's model. Now, these also have, this is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. It does have the staggered tires. That means that they're narrower in the front. They're 225 in the front. They're 255s in the back. They're 40 profile tires, so they're low profile, and they have the Michelin's on this particular one, the Michelin Pilot Sport Series tires. So nice and sticky. Also, what's nice about it, it does have this trim piece right here. It's a little bit of that black chrome, but it's not only decoration, it's actually functional, because it actually gets the air out from here and it whooshes alongside of this vehicle. It also does have this indentation right here that helps with the aerodynamics of this vehicle. Same black chrome as you see on that trim piece and in the front is also on the mirror caps, and it does have some turn signals that are incorporated in here. Now, this one is also incorporated with the proximity sensor. So, I mean, if you want to lock the vehicle or unlock it, all you do is, and of course it's not going to work now, okay, press the button right on the door handle and it closes the vehicle. If you look at the back profile, nice sport back, kind of reminds you a little bit of that Audi A7, maybe Mercedes CLS a little bit. We'll get to that in just a second. And also so characteristic to the Stinger, this Stinger basically right here. I'm not sure what to compare it on. This is the only vehicle that has this reflector light on the side. But overall, let me know in the comment section what you think about the shape of this vehicle, in particular about the color. I'm curious to know if I'm the only one that likes it or if you actually enjoying this color. Okay, so pretty good news for the backseat driver, for people who ride in the back of the seat most of the time. It does have quite a bit of room. It actually has plenty of knee room, which doesn't happen very often, especially I'm 6 feet tall. Most of the cars have about an inch. This one has a good 2 inches or more. Headroom, I still have about an inch and a half above me. If you're a lot taller than 6 feet tall, you might have an issue. But the seats are fairly comfortable. I'm going to show you what the rest of the interior looks like in just a second. Okay, so let's check out the interior, because there's some changes from the 2021 to 2022. And the first one that you can see right away is basically on your steering wheel, there is the new Kia logo right here. So Kia decided to change the logo, change the marketing for their brand, and this is one of them. Now the steering wheel itself is very nice. It's very comfortable. It's sporty. As you can see, it's got that GT logo right at the bottom here. So there's a GT badge right here. Also, it's got the flat bottom, and it does have the supports for your hands, for your palms right here, so they grab nicely. It feels nice to the touch, etc., etc. Now it's a multi-function steering wheel, so on the left hand side you can see a bunch of controls, and that's basically your media, your phone controls. And on the right hand side you see a bunch of controls, and that's basically what's going on in the middle of the instrument cluster, as well as your controls for the cruise control, dynamic cruise control, lane keep assist. So let's see what's going on inside of here. So as you can see, Kia decided to stick with the analog display. Now this is kind of a hybrid, and it's got the little screen in the middle, and analog tachometer, analog speedometer, and then you have the gas gauge and the temperature. That's what's on here. Now the pages right here, you can see this is the sport page, and this is pretty cool because it tells you the temperature of the oil, it tells you the turbo PSI, so the turbo pressure, as well as it tells you the pound-feet of torque on here. So that's interesting. We'll see how that works while driving. You have other pages that are available. This is basically your trip right here, compass, okay, settings, as far as you can hold okay to do settings for the vehicle, and this is it. You can have your speed in the middle, and then we'll go back to my favorite sports screen. So that's what's going on right here. But the main infotainment system that has been changed for 2022, we've seen it at other models before. Now it is a 10.25 inch screen, and that's standard pretty much across the line of the Stinger lineup. Doesn't matter if you get the GT line, GT1 or GT2, you get this 10.25 display. The nice part about it, that it's nice, big, bright, good quality, stuff like this. The bad part about it, you still get the wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And it's strange because when you get the one with the smaller screen, like before, if you get the one with the smaller screen, you get the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now with this one, you still have to have the wired one. And the way you see it right here, you press the button, please connect the phone that supports Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, using an approved USB cable. Okay, so you have the map, pretty quick reaction type, nice map. This is a touch screen, by the way, so you can control it like this. Navigation menu, phone, voice memo, climate, valet mode, HD radio data, radio, media, sounds of nature, settings. Sound of nature, this is became a standard part on many Hyundai and Kia vehicles, and that's basically how I check the radio sound quality on videos, not to have any copyright issues in here. So you can have several different ones: lively forest, open air cafe, warm fireplace, snowy village. Now this is pretty cool setup, especially if you're tired coming back from work and you go like, yeah, let me listen to some calm sea waves or rainy day, just to kind of make you unwind. The other screen right here is for your UVO notifications and the user's manual. User's manual basically gives you a QR code, so if you have your phone and scan it, and it takes you right to the online user's manual, so you don't have to have that book anymore. Let's go back to the main screen. Anything crazy about it? We've seen this before. I mean, you have the phone projections voice memo. That's pretty cool. So you don't have to write it down. You can basically just record it and retrieve it later. Media, as far as the setup, this is where you set up the button. So there's even a button right here. Okay, and you can set up, there's 3 custom buttons on this vehicle. So back to the main screen. So what you have in here also at the bottom of it, nice round vents in here for your climate control. Even lower than this, you have your push power button, volume knob, that's this one right here. Then you have map navigation custom button. You have your hazard lights, radio media setup, and then you have your tune and seek button on the other side. This is not a display right here. I was kind of confused because I was trying to figure out what the temperature is, but then it shows up right on this infotainment screen in here. And what's cool about it too, it tells you whether it's gonna cool it or it's gonna heat it up. So let's see, 64, it's blue. Okay, 69, 70, that's basically where the temperature is right now, so it's kind of neutral. And then if you get 79, 80, it's gonna start heating it up, so we don't wanna do that. Now Kia decided to keep this as a sporty type of sedan with the regular shift knob, and kind of an old-fashioned shift knob, but I guess we can live with that, right? And then you can put it in the manual mode by putting it to the left. That's going to enable you to use those pedal shifters right on the steering wheel. Up and down on the pedal shifters, decent size. See, I like when there are like this aluminum so you can feel the metal. Now these are plastic, but not bad at all. Back in here, back in the middle section right here, what you can see is you have this opening right here. That's where your USB and the regular charger is, as well as this is where your wireless charger is. That's where you put your phone to wirelessly charge that. Okay, we have electronic parking brake. That's new again for 2021. So a couple new things. You have a new display right here. You have a new log on the steering wheel, electronic parking brake. Then we're gonna check the drive modes. We're gonna see what they do. Auto hold, traction control off. Now this is where your seat heater is right here. If it was equipped with the cooled seats, which I know the GT2 is, this would be right in here. And then you can control, this is the 3-stage seat heater. Let's make sure it's off, because with 90 degrees outside, I certainly don't want the heated seats. This is where you can turn the camera off. It's a little bit confusing because I honestly don't see a reason for this to be on without you putting it in reverse, but maybe just because you want to check out of how close you are to something. I guess you can justify everything. And this is if that auto start on and off annoys you, you can turn that off in here. Again, you have the seat heater for the passenger and the cup holders in here. So let's go in here and see how much storage you have. So you have a little bit of storage and then a little bit more right in front of that armrest console right here. Now Kia also changed the key. Now remember that previous Stingers that had this kind of a detonation button, if you will. This part was round, so that made the Stinger a little bit different. Now this is the same key as all the other smart keys for Kia. Again, new Kia logo right on the key. Buttons are on the side, and then the auto start button is right in here. So as far as the drive modes, let's see how many drive modes they have, and let's see what it does when I switch it. So you have, starting from the very top, you have a smart drive mode, eco, comfort, sport, and custom. So you can actually do a custom smart mode, which is pretty cool. You can customize it. And eco, of course, best fuel efficiency. Smart is kind of a combination because between eco and sport. Comfort, you know, this is for the comfortable ride, but I'm interested in the sport. This is a sporty sedan, so I want to check out of how it actually feels driving the sports sedan here. So this is it for the interior, for the instrument cluster. Let's take a quick look around and see how all of this looks in the front. So a combination of leather, vinyl, aluminum. It actually feels and looks pretty darn good. I mean, even though this is not like the real leather or nothing fancy, but it's solid. It's a solid feel for the vehicle. Another change that they've made is they changed the mirror. I don't know how many people care about that, but this is kind of like frameless mirror right now. It used to have a frame around it. And I believe, I could have sworn that the previous one had the sunglasses holder, and for some reason, this one doesn't have it. This one also has the controls for the sunroof right here. Let's check this out really quick, because this is interesting. It looks like the pano sunroof on the outside, but is it? Actually, it is just a little sunroof on the inside, but it takes up like half of the roof on the outside of the exterior of this vehicle. But nevertheless, it gives you more light inside, and then, you know, obviously you can shade it out if you'd like to. So I'm ready to take this for a spin. I hope you are too. So let's take this for a ride. Well guys, I'm gonna take this vehicle for a spin, for a ride, and I hope you're coming with me on this one, because it's exciting to see what this 368 horsepower engine can do. Now obviously, if you watch my other videos, we're not gonna go crazy. We're gonna go speed limit and all legal stuff like this, but I want to tell you a little bit about the different trim levels that are available for 2022. So here's my helper. And first of all, as far as the 2022 model year, there's 3 different trim lines available. There's the GT line, which is the 2.5 liter engine, 300 horsepower. Supposedly the biggest change that they've made as far as this engine, 300 horsepower out of 2.5 liter engine. We've seen this engine in other cars. That could be impressive too. But I'm excited about this GT1. The GT1 is kind of a step up from the GT line, because you get this 3.3 liter engine, you get the 368 horsepower, you get the power. You might not get all of the amenities of the GT2, which is another trim level, and this one starts at 43,690. The GT line starts at 36,090, and so this one, the one that I'm sitting in right now, it's basically the only option that it has is the carpeted floor mats, and it is a rear-wheel drive. So with destination charge is 44,890. I want to post that at the bottom of this video as far as what it has. And the GT1 basically adds that 3.3 liter twin turbo engine. It adds the sunroof, which is that half of panoramic sunroof. It adds the LED interior lights with multicolor selection. It adds the 19-inch alloy wheels. You've seen that great design on the rims. And it does have this electronic variable exhaust valve and sport variable gear ratio steering. So well, hopefully we're going to feel some of the differences in here. Those are the differences as far as between the GT line and the GT. And the GT2, basically, it adds the electronically controlled suspension, full LED projector headlights, surround view monitor. So this is probably, we're going to take a look at this camera, but that's probably why it's not a full screen. I'll tell you a little bit about it now. Head-up display, Napa leather seats, ventilated front seats, heated rear outboard seats, 16-way power driver seats, 12-way power passenger seats, smart power trunk. So the stuff that I didn't see here, like the gate wouldn't open automatically, that has it on the GT2. Now the GT2 also is the most expensive model, and it starts at $51,290. But if you want all the bells and whistles, the performance, then the GT2 might be the one for you. It's going to drive exactly the same basically as this one, so I'm excited to take it for a spin. But before we do that, let's check out the rear view camera. So the rear view camera on this one, this is what I was complaining about, that it doesn't take the entire real estate. And I get it, you know, it has to have the room for the surround sound, I mean the surround view camera if it had it. But, you know, what if they did the entire screen for the rear view camera and put this little picture of that car in the middle of it or somewhere to the side, but on the actual screen, because this is basically for your rear sensors. So if you're getting close to something, the sensors are going to inform you that you get closer. Another beef that I have with it, maybe not beef, but a little bit of complaint, that it only has like 2 angles, and one is basically straight down from the bumper down, and the other one is just a regular angle camera. Well, you know, and the quality of it, it's good, it's not great. So that's the rear view camera on here. Let's take a look and see of how many parking spaces will it take to flip this vehicle around. As you know, I do this test with the parking spaces, probably not the most scientific one, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 before I would hit the other car. So let's see if I'm gonna make it here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't hit it. So 4 parking spaces to flip it around. Let's take the on the road really quick. Let's see how the acceleration is, maybe how the handling of this vehicle is, and then we'll bring it back here. By the way, you know, check the guys out over at Gettle Kia of Bradenton. I mean, they still have a decent selection of cars. I know a lot of dealers are struggling for inventory. They have a lot of cars on their lot, so if you're looking for Kia, check them guys out, and hopefully they'll help you make a deal on the car that you're looking for. All right, then as far as the drive, I mentioned that the steering wheel feels very solid as far as, you know, in your hand. It's the right size. Okay, let's see. We'll get it down the road. Whoa! And it puts a big smile on my face, not because, you know, it's faster than anything I've driven, but it's definitely, you know, I was able to merge in this traffic like instantly. You know, I say it's 4.7 seconds 0 to 60. Now that's in the sports car category. It used to be that anything, you know, under 6 seconds were good. Right now, you know, anything under 3 seconds is great. So there's a lot of cars that are actually doing it, and, you know, I just think that's crazy. Good crazy though for some of you who like the performance. Now, as far as everyday life situations, really, were you gonna do the 2.6, 3.5 seconds? Like, I have a car in front of me, I have a car behind me, so unless you're tracking it. All right, so turning. Okay, I took that turn a little bit higher speeds. By the way, I hope you can hear that exhaust. It's speaker enhanced, but it's a very nice sounding exhaust. And take a look at this corner. All right. All right, so the seats hold you in place. They're not very aggressive. I know the GT2 has the bolsters that adjust when you put it in the sport mode, and they actually get tighter, which would be a great feature, like, you know, if you want to, you know, take it out and race it. But for everyday life, these are aggressive enough for as far as the feel of the seats. And you know, flip it around and hopefully stop and do from stop to, you know, 60 as far as the acceleration, and we'll see, you know, is it really that quick as they say? Overall, good feel. You know, when you get in the car and you haven't driven this car in a while or for a long time, and I get in and out of a lot of cars, and sometimes you get into some vehicle and you have to, it kind of takes you a little bit to get used to it. This one is a vehicle, and in my opinion, you get in and you can start driving right away. It actually feels like something that's very familiar to you, and I've never owned a Kia in my life, and it feels like, you know, it's something that was basically tailor-made. Okay, I'm gonna turn it around. Well, let's check out that acceleration really quick. Wow, that is quick. That is very quick. Let's put it in the manual mode. Downshift it, upshift it, You can hear a little bit of that engine working. It's awesome. It's very nice, very tight. But also, what I want to point out is that this is basically a great daily driver with a kick. So it gives you the ability to gun it if you want to. It gives you the ability to have fun with it, but at the same time, it doesn't take away anything from it being the regular sedan for everyday driving. Price-wise, as you can see, you know, from the 30s to the 50s, so there's a pretty wide spread, but you know, you get quite a bit for the money. And I will certainly give this vehicle a big thumbs up. I'm excited. Great job, Kia. Once again, you've proven that what people don't believe in sometimes, you know, you just go ahead and do it. So great job for Kia engineers. And you know, the one thing that we don't talk about a lot is the warranty on this car. And this is just like any Hyundai and Kia. It's got the 10 years, 100,000 miles warranty on the powertrain. So engine, transmission, drive axles, everything that makes this vehicle move is covered for 10 years, 100,000 miles. 5 years, 60,000 miles limited warranty. I'm not sure if it's still the case, but it used to be 3 years, 36 for all the electronics. But nevertheless, you know, some people in my other videos complained about some of the engines for Kia and Hyundai vehicles. But with that warranty behind you, how can you go wrong? I mean, let me know in the comment section what you think. But I think it's a great that they cover the vehicles, especially like this, with a 10-year, 100,000 miles warranty. Guys, again, great job for Kia. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being Matt the Car Guy family. If you're a subscriber, if you're not, check out the rest of my channel. Consider subscribing. I really appreciate every single viewer, every single comment, every single view. So I will see you in my next video, and cheers.